Canada is our home and our native land. And the first duty of the government is to protect the air we breathe, the food we eat, the water we drink, and occasionally the trains that comes through a town needs to be safe. So it is the first duty of a government to keep its citizens, especially small little children, safe. Because once you have tinted the water or the meat or destroyed a neighborhood, it is very difficult to bring back. And Canada is blessed with majestic mountains, boreal forest, and beautiful lakes, the Great Lakes. I have paddled in many of these lakes. I have whitewater canoed over in many rivers. And let me tell you, there is something just majestic and beautiful about this land of ours. And that's why I was really disturbed when during the budget, the federal budget, in that budget, there was a clause that got rid of the Navigable Water Protection Act. It used to be that all the lakes and rivers are protected. That if you are going to do something fairly nasty, build something on it, you have to apply to get approval from Transport Canada, and there would be occasionally some environmental assessment done on it. With this one stroke of the pen, that act was eliminated. But a few members of parliament, conservative members of parliament, thought, well, some lakes needs to be protected, especially those in Muskoka, for example. Now remember, you heard of the gazebo in Muskoka, right? Yes, and they now have their lakes protected. But why not Trout Lake? Why not the rest of the lakes and rivers, pristine rivers, all across this land, from coast to coast to coast? They too need protection. I'm not talking about red tape. I'm not talking about needless regulations. This is an act that has been in the books and acted for a long time, at the beginning of times when we had a government. Because the government at that time knew that protecting lakes and rivers are critically important for our future generations. So it is incredibly pleased that I saw our New Democrat MP introduce a private member's bill to protect Trout Lake. I hope speedy passage of this private member's bill so that the lake can be protected, the water source would be protected for all our children here, and that Canada could remain strong and free, our true north. Strong because we have clean water, beautiful lake, and that we have regulations, government regulations, to protect all our citizens.
I think the first thing I got to do is apologize for being late, but we can't control Air Canada, but I think we can control what happens to Trout Lake here behind us, and I think that's why we're here today. When the Conservatives brought in their omnibus bill and deregulated a lot of the lakes and rivers from coast to coast to coast, but they protected less than 1% of the lakes and rivers across Canada. But I was very surprised that Trout Lake was not on that list, having a Conservative MP in your riding and him not standing up for the people of Nord Bay. This is where he gets his drinking water from. This is where you get your drinking water from, and we have to protect this lake. We have to protect this lake for these kids. We have to protect this lake because it's the right thing to do. And it's not only this lake, it's the lakes and rivers from coast to coast to coast. So it's with great pleasure that I'm here today, and I want to thank the Nipissing Riding Association for organizing this, and just to show the people of North Bay how important it is to protect our drinking water.
Anishinaabe people, it is our teaching that we are responsible for the keepers of the environment, and that includes fresh water. I know it was mentioned. There was a mention about the Lake Nipissing Stewardship Accord. We are concerned about the quality of Lake Nipissing. There's something not right with the environment. We know there's invasive species, there's too much chemicals going into our water. And as mayors and chiefs from around Lake Nipissing, we have vowed to do something about improving the quality of Lake Nipissing. And I think here for Trout Lake as well, as I look at these young children, they need that guarantee that they will be able to enjoy this lake and the lakes and rivers around this territory. It's important to honor the water, to give thanks, because without water, we would not be able to live. And if anything is going to jeopardize our fresh waters, we must take a stand. We must say, no, we want fresh water for our children. I know this little baby here, Madeline, I hope she's going to be able to enjoy Trout Lake and Lake Nipissing and wherever she goes. I know with the environmental bill, under the omnibus bill, there was great concern. Given that the environmental protections were lifted, and as a First Nation, we're trying to do our best. We're trying to do what is important and follow our teachings. And I'm so pleased that Claude Gravel has introduced this bill for the protection of the environment. And I thank him, and I'm here in support of that.